everybody, it's your girl Nell, and welcome to another episode of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Thank you so much for joining me here in the Tiny Studio today. It is Friday, August the 1st, 2025. Oh my God. It is August. I cannot believe it. I mean, it was just like, to me, it was November 2024, not that long ago. I just celebrated my birthday. Oh my God. And now it is August. I can't believe it, but it is. It is August 1st, 2025. I am so excited. I have some special news, an announcement for you guys for this month, and I am just so excited about it. The month of August is like a great month. My husband's birthday is in the month of August. His birthday is on the 10th. My sister-in-law's birthday is on the 13th. My brother-in-law's birthday is on the 18th. And my little brother's birthday is on the 18th. So it's like so much going on in the month of August. And I have a great announcement that I want to share with you guys, but not right now. I want to talk to you about real quick about why it's important that you now support your local PBS station. If you don't already know, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting has ended. It has shut down totally because Congress, at the request of, 34-time convicted felon, formerly 45th, now 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump, at his behest, Congress has defunded the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. And what does this mean to you? What is it going to mean for me? What it's going to mean is that a lot of shows that we like or that we watched on our local PBS channels are going to be underfunded, which means that they may not be able to exist any longer. When I think of PBS and what an effect that it has had on my life, I mean, it just really makes me upset. It makes me sad. I recorded this video 2 times already. The first time I was crying talking about this subject because when I think about my childhood, a lot of it was wrapped around PBS, my local PBS station. I mean, when I got up in the morning, my mother put on Sesame Street. Okay. And then I watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Then you had Zoom. You had the Electric Company. You had 321 Contact. You had a lot of great children's programming. Even today, as an adult, when I started having children, I made sure my children sat down to watch Sesame Street. Mr. Rogers was still on TV at the time. I made sure they watched that. You had Teletubbies on TV. You had, oh my goodness, Curious George. You have Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is a great show. You have Pinkalicious, and what's her brother name? Peter, Peterific. You have, and I wrote down some notes. My daughter used to love Angelina Ballerina. Okay, that was a great show. You had the Wild Kratts, the Kratt brothers, teaching kids about nature. You had the Cat in the Hat. What else? Arthur. Okay, who can forget Arthur? My children loved Arthur. Did I already say Curious George? Curious George, Molly of Denali, Reading Rainbow. Okay, those are some really important shows that our children indulge in that are very important. They were important to me, they were important to my children, and they are also important to kids today. I know I'm leaving something out. Nature Cat, love that show. Just so much children's so many children's programming that is essential to the growth and development of children. Very important. All on PBS. What else? How about the cooking shows? When I first got married in July of 1989, I could not cook. I maybe knew how to cook some spaghetti, okay? I knew how to cook spaghetti. I just did the basic things. But when I got married, I started learning how to cook. And where did I turn to learn how to cook? I turned to PBS because then you had the French Chef on PBS. Who was Julia Child? You had Baking with Julia. Okay, you had that on. Then you had Lydia's Kitchen. I think her name is, I wrote her name down, Lydia Bastinach. She cooked, she's special chef Lydia. She specialized in Italian foods, okay? She she showed you how to cook Italian staples, but it was pared down where you, the home cook, could be able to present a fabulous dinner and not have to worry about the, having to be without it having to be difficult. And then the one of the assistants on Lydia's show, I think her name was Sarah Moulton, she had a show on PBS. And then when the Food Channel debuted, okay, on cable TV, Sarah Moulton went over to the Food Channel, and then she had this show where every day at 6 o'clock, Sarah would cook dinner, and you could cook live, and you could cook dinner with her. Okay, I mean, these are the things that shaped me. Okay, you not only had Lydia and Sarah, then you had a Chef's Table, a Chef's Life. You had a Patty Heneage, and I watch her today. I still watch PBS. Patty Heneage's Patty's Mexican Table, where she exposed you to Mexican cuisine, traveled all over Mexico. I had no idea Mexico was as diverse as it is because I didn't know. But watching Patty's Mexican Table, I learned, and then I started using some of the ingredients that she used in her cooking. I started cooking with it, because Mexican food, Mexican cuisine is more than rice and beans. It's more than tacos. It's more than that. Okay, it's very diverse, and it's very exquisite. And that's what Patty Heneage did. And you can only find her on where? On PBS. Martha Stewart. The first time I saw Martha Stewart was on PBS on Julia Child's show, on Baking with Julia. That was the first time I had ever seen Martha Stewart or knew who Martha Stewart was. Okay, and she went on, as we all know, to bigger and better things because of the start she got on TV from where? From PBS. Oh my God. I mean, just thinking about all this. I was talking to my daughter today about some of the programming on PBS as far as dramas. So you remember you had Downton Abbey. Watch that fact. Everybody watched PBS to catch the next episode of Downton Abbey. How about Poldark? That was a great show. Groundbreaking show. Paradise is on now. All Creatures Great and Small. Miss Scarlet. Sedition, Victoria, what's the show about the midwives? Call the Midwife, Degrassi. Everybody's raging about Degrassi, but Degrassi started on what? On PBS. On PBS. All right, for real. Then you have, a few months ago, I was watching Austin City Limits on PBS, and Duran Duran was on. Yeah, Duran Duran. Love them. But that was a free concert given to you or brought to you by your public broadcasting channel by way of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. All right. Not only that, you had the Antiques Roadshow. Now remember, a lot of what public broadcasting did was become the platform for cable TV. Discovery, the Food Channel, HGTV, the Cooking Channel. Where did all that come from? It came from PBS. Okay, so you have things like Finding Your Roots. All right, the Antiques Roadshow. Everybody watches that. Everybody loves that. What else? How about Frontline, Nature, Nova, Masterpiece Theater? All of those shows come from where? They come from, excuse me, they come from PBS. They come from PBS. That was Kyle, honey. He can recall you. That was my hubby's over there. They come from PBS. PBS is really, really important, and they get the funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. That's where the funding comes from. Okay, and that's where all of these great shows come from. The reason why Trump wants the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to be non-existent is because of a few television or a few news shows that are featured on PBS that present the facts about him and his administration, about him and the GOP. And that's what he doesn't like. He doesn't want you to be informed about what's really going on. He wants to have journalism set up to honor him and to put him in a favorable light and to put everyone else in a, disenfranchised type of way. And that's not what real quality journalism is supposed to be about. You want your news to be bipartisan, or how about you want your news to be objective? You want the facts to be presented to you, and you want the commentary to be last. Okay, because we're all capable of thinking and presenting the facts as they are and making our own judgment call on it. However, right now, with the way the news cycles are set up, with cable news the way that it is, with your legacy television channel or news stations such as ABC, NBC, CBS, all of them have just completely bowed or taken a knee to this president. It's not surprising that he would be against the last bastion of facts and truth, which is public broadcasting, your local public broadcasting station. All right, that's just how it is. That's just the truth. You can disagree, and we can agree to disagree, but those are the facts. Shows like I have local shows like Florida This Week. What else? What did I write down? Florida This Week, and a lot of different news shows that hits you on the local level is really, really important. I know here in Florida we have Arts Plus, which is on our local PBS channels, which I love because it lets me know what other artists are doing in my neck of the woods, how they stay inspired, how they fuel their passion for art. There's another show. It's called Craft. Something that's on PBS, and let me see if I can find it, because I think that's another show, another reason why I am just so distraught over this entire PBS thing. Let me see, what is it called? It's called Crafters. It's called, it's called Crafting in America. I think that's the name of it. I can't find it. Let me see if I can find it on Google. It's called Crafting in America. And I found that show to be that's the name. It's called Craft in America. This is another PBS show. Can you see that? Craft in America. Oh my God, what a great show on PBS. It has about maybe 10 seasons, Craft in America, where the show goes all over the country and explores crafting, fiber artisans, jewelry designers, jewelry makers, wood makers, painters, weavers. I mean, this show, Craft in America, is just, it really explores artisans. Okay, American artisans from all walks of life, quilters, okay, oh my God, furniture makers, designers, um, fashion designers. Oh my God, this show Craft in America, just wonderful, fantastical. But guess what? Now it's not going to be funded, or it's going to be underfunded to the point where it may no longer exist. And see, that's the whole thing about um, the end, the devastation of gutting the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. That's what makes this so personal, so terrible. Um, because a lot of funding that goes into bringing us these fantastic shows, it's just going to be no more. No more. And if the funding is not there, then you know that the show will be canceled. Okay? And where does that leave your local public broadcasting channels? Where does that leave all of the thousands of employees, all of the people that bring public TV to us? Where does that leave them? On the unemployment line, along with the thousands and thousands of federal workers that have been laid off within the last 6 months. I mean, for me, there were times in my early marriage where we couldn't afford cable TV, and my cable TV was my local PBS station. And even when we had cable television, I still set my children down to watch PBS in the morning. I still made sure that they were watching Sesame Street, Pinkalicious, Teletubbies, all of those great shows. That's what PBS brings to us. That's what PBS brings to you. And as devastated as I am about it, you should be just as devastated. Okay? So I just want to say that and get that out the way. But on to bigger and better things. I just feel like that was important for me to say. But send your local PBS channel some money. Send them whatever you can. $10, $5, anything. Send them some money. Send them so that they can be able to bring you, or continue to bring to you, great, great programming. But this is what I want to tell you. I want to let you know that for the month of August, there will be a Tiny Studio video every single day, except Sundays. But there will be regular programming here in the Tiny Studio every day for the month of August. So that's going to be nearly 30 days of you hanging out with Nell, crocheting, making jewelry, what else? Painting, talking everything vintage coach, talking about locks, all in the month of August. Okay, I am so excited to bring that content to you, and I hope that you're excited too. Book reviews, as a matter of fact, because I have a few new books up there, crocheting books that I'm really excited to review for you. And I'm really, really dedicated to this. I call this a challenge of me presenting presenting to you a show every day. So filming every day. So I'm either going to be filming, or I'm going to go live, and that would be even more exciting too. So if there's a subject or anything you would like for me to talk about here in the Tiny Studio, please let me know, and I can add that to the scheduling or to the programming here in the Tiny Studio. But that was my special announcement. It's going to be a full 30 days of Simply Nell's Tiny Studio, new episodes, new things, new conversations, and we're going to have some fun. Okay, we're going to end summer. We're going to end summer on a high note. Yes, we are. We're going to end summer on a high note. We're not going to let what's going on outside the Tiny Studio stop us from enjoying our passions. So I'm going to get on off of here. Thank you so much for being a Tiny Studio guest. I really, really appreciate you. Please think about becoming a sustainable member because at least 3 times a month I'm in the Tiny Studio Lounge. It's a members only type of setup, and you can join by becoming a sustainable member. So like my sustainable members, they already knew what the special announcement was going to be. They already know some of the things that I have that I want to do in the Tiny Studio and present to you. They already knew it. Now, if you want to be an insider and know what they know, then you have to become a Tiny Studio Lounge member. And I think this week I talked a lot about my weight loss journey, and I talked about some real personal things about me. So if you want to really get to know Nell, if you're really interested, you have to come over into the Tiny Studio Lounge where we sip on tea and coffee and and just talk about what's going on with me and what's going on in my world. So I'm going to get off the line and I am going to see what the hubby is up to. He's drinking on a brew over there. And I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my day. I hope that you have a fantastic Friday, a fantastic weekend. I'll see some of you tomorrow for the Learn to Crochet with Nell series, which we will be starting again. And I am so excited about that. We're going to be learning how to treble crochet, Treble, treble crochet. We'll be learning that technique tomorrow in the Tiny Studio. So I will see you guys later. Don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.